Advantage Broadcasting. Move ahead.
East Coast Roofing and Siding, protecting what you love and own. East Coast Roofing and Siding, trust us with your family and home.
All right, Larry, so over the years, East Coast Roofing, Siding, Windows, and now Solar has really evolved. And years ago, it was just one element, but it has certainly grown.
It's grown from roofing, siding, all exteriors of the home, and now to, with the New Jersey incentives being so popular, solar has become very popular in New Jersey. So we've partnered with Ecos Energy, our newest partner in bringing solar to our homeowners.
And you have a great guy here. Introduce who we have here.
This is Dave Apollonia from Ecos, our partner.
And he is the specialist when it comes to answering the questions that folks have, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, he is.
All right, well, we're going to visit with him, Larry. And Dave, first of all, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So when you hear solar energy, immediately, especially if you don't know much about it, you start to think about, well, can I purchase it? Can I lease it? Does it work for me? How much am I going to save? How much money is it going to cost? All these questions. So I guess you are the guy to ask these questions are. So take us through the process. So I pick up the phone and I call Larry and the staff here at East Coast Roofing, Siding, Windows, and Solar. What happens after I make that initial call and say, yeah, I'd like to learn more about your solar program?
Sure. We would show up and give them a free evaluation. We take a look at their electric bill first and find out how many kilowatt hours they use on an annual basis, and then find out how many solar modules it would take to offset that utility bill by 100%.
Okay. So I know that when it comes to solar power, there are options such as a lease option. And most people go that way. Am I right about that?
I would say 85% of our customers choose the leasing option because there's no upfront cost, there's no maintenance for 20 years, and there's no fees whatsoever to have the system installed.
So an obvious question is, if I'm a homeowner and say my electric bill is $75, $100, $125, $200, $300, $400, whatever, what is the minimal amount that you can work with as far as an electric bill and put somebody into solar power where it will work and save the money?
I would say between $50 and $75
Wow.
would be the minimum.
But I got to believe that most people are probably like all of us, that their electric bill is probably closer to $200-300 in some cases.
That's correct. Yeah, we see electric bills anywhere from $200 to $700 in the Atlantic City area.
Now, the leasing is one option. Who is really suited for the purchase options?
Yeah, so the purchase option is a really good solution for folks that could use the 30% tax credit that's available federally, as well as there's credits from the state called SREC credits, Solar Renewable Energy Credits. So for every time the system generates 1,000 kilowatt hours of power, it generates a certificate, and you would sell that certificate.
Okay. So when they make that phone call and you come out and visit them, you're gonna walk them through the process. You're gonna kind of lay out what scenario is probably best for them. If they do choose to make a purchase, though, I know that the leasing is really great because you really can't lose. Financing available if you're a person that maybe is inclined to look at more of the purchasing element?
Absolutely, sure. We have some no upfront cost purchase options as well, and the maintenance would be included for 10 years.
Okay. Now, leasing, I know one of the questions that I imagine you get, if I choose to go the lease method, which obviously is no money down, no maintenance cost, and no hidden fees, which is great. What happens at the end of the lease with the solar equipment?
The customer has their choice. They could purchase the system at fair market value, which is just a couple of $1,000s. That system would last at least another 15 years, or we could just simply take it off the roof and the lease is expired.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you've thought about it, if you say, well, I know this person has it, that person has it, do I need to have a lot of money? Do I need this? Do I need that? Do I need this? These are the people to call. East Coast Roofing, Siding, and Windows. You make that phone call, and I can tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to get all the answers you need. You're going to pick up the phone. They're going to set up an appointment. You'll get to visit with Dave. He's going to come out. He's going to answer all your questions about how the process works. Am I better to have a lease? Am I better to have a purchase? How much money does that, that savings really mean in my electric bill? And those are, I guarantee those are questions that he gets all the time, and he's going to be really anxious to help you. And the bottom line is, you're going to save yourself a lot of money. So if you like to save money, you want to have a very friendly energy, absolutely worth your time. You really don't have anything to lose, ladies and gentlemen, by picking up the phone and calling East Coast Roofing, Siding, and Windows, and of course solar, because after all, what happens when you call?
We'll show up.
East Coast Roofing and Siding. Trust us with your family and home.
All right, Larry, so if you call,
We'll show up.
well, I got to tell you, in more ways than one, East Coast Roofing, Siding, Windows, and Solar really has shown up over the years. And I got to tell you, Larry, I know there's a lot of things going on, and you're all about giving back. Over the years, I don't think I know as many people that are so generous and so involved in what your mission statement here is, which, by the way, let's refresh the viewers what that mission statement is.
It's to make a worldwide difference.
And why is that so important to you?
Well, that's our goal. It's our meaning. We feel that when our life's over here on this earth, we're not going to get a high five for the best roof we put on. It's going to be about what we've done for people.
Now, you guys are involved in a lot of different things and members of a lot of different organizations, one of which happens to be the NRCA, which is the National Roofing Contracting Association. And by the way, they have a Community Involvement Award that they're going to be passing out. And I know just for the sole fact that your nutrition center could be a beneficiary, you entered that contest with the hopes of being the winner so that organization could be blessed. However, speaking of being blessed in the nutrition center, which I believe, Larry, correct me if I'm wrong, 2010 is when that started in Solala, Guatemala.
Yes, we started the nutrition center in Solala back in 2010 and been keeping it running every day since. We feed about 75 kids a day, 1 square meal. Kids come from the village. All of them walk to the village. Some of them is miles walking to get that meal. They get a good meal. They have a pastor that looks after them. If they're missing or haven't shown up in a couple of days, we go to their home, check on them, make sure everything's okay at home. We've delivered packages of supplies to their homes if they're going through difficulty, sickness, or illness. And so it just gives a chance for somebody to take a look at these kids and keep an eye on them and make sure they're doing all right.
Now, this year you decided to turn it up a notch, and you unveiled your newest project called Project Fill My Backpack. So tell us what that is, tell us what it included, and tell us about your visit after you went out there.
Sure, we decided to take some of our staff here at East Coast Roofing, and we took some of our staff and committed to filling our backpack. We asked our customers to donate backpacks, supplies, pencils, markers, everything they need for school, dental bags, and we took them over 100 backpacks to Guatemala and gave them out to the kids at the feeding center, get them started out for school. And I mean, it means a huge deal to them. They just don't have the supplies. They don't have the money to pick them up. It's extremely exciting. It's just the joy and the smiles on their faces. We have photographs we can show your audience, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing for us. It's a blessing for them.
Mm-hmm. So Project Fill My Backpack obviously went over well, and you did mention too, I want to just make sure I point this out, that not only you and your team, but this nutrition center is also done under the guidance of a pastor there. Am I correct?
Yes, he makes sure that the kids are doing well and leading them in the way they should go and helping them out when they need help.
So not only do they get the help with the items that they need, but you're actually kind of taking them by the hand and leading them down the road to hopefully a better life and a better tomorrow for these families and kids.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Now, speaking of better lives, over the last few months, it's an exciting time here at East Coast Roofing, Siding, and Windows, because your biggest local project of the year, so to speak, is the roof giveaway. And I know that everybody gets excited. They nominate people. And each and every year, we're going to just kind of tell folks, in case they've never heard about it before, what it is, and then we're going to kind of tell you what we're going to show you next. But Larry, the roof giveaway. If someone is hearing us talk about a roof giveaway, number one, you really do have a roof giveaway. Tell us how it works every year.
Sure. We've years ago we asked ourselves what was in our hand, and as roofers we had hammers in our hand. We thought, well, if hammers is what the Lord's given us, we want to give back to our community by using our hammer. And so we decided to give away a roof to somebody that couldn't afford it. Throughout the year, we come to many homes, and I mean, I'm heartbroken when I give the news that somebody needs a roof, and tears swell up in their eyes, and they just don't have the means to have a dry home. And so we wanted to step in and give a roof away each year in time for Christmas, and that's what we do.
And you look to people that are obviously qualifying for that, and one of the things that you want to is the criteria is that they have to be nominated and they have to have given something back to the community at some point in their lives.
Yes, we need the viewers' help, because we need to, as somebody that's viewing this show right now, to be thinking about what they can do for next year. A family that is in need, needs a roof, simply nominate them. Come online at eastcoastroofing.com. Tell us about the need that they have, why they need a roof, and tell us something they've done, something somebody in that family has done in the course of their lifetime to help others. And that's what will be our winning decision, as to what somebody's done to help others.
And I know your staff takes great pride in making the decision and that has got to be the toughest decision you make all year, is what family is going to be the recipient of the roof award. Am I correct?
It's a very difficult decision, and there are tears in our eyes and our staff's eyes as we read the stories, the sad stories, and the commitment that people have made to others, and it's a sweet and bitter time for us.
Well, over the years, you've blessed a lot of families with this tremendous, heartfelt giveaway. And that leads us to where we are now. Right now, we are going to leave the showroom here. We're going to take the cameras out to this year's winner. That's right, you're going to see who is the winner this year in the roofing giveaway from your friends at East Coast Roofing, Siding, and Windows. Larry, are we ready to go see who the lucky winner is?
We are.
A quiet morning in Egg Harbor Township turned into one this member of the Air Force will never forget. East Coast Roofing and Siding employees were escorted by the local police department today as they announced U.S. Air Force Master Sergeant Christopher Lacconi would be awarded this year's free roof.
Try to get everything done in time for Christmas for you.
The roof currently on his home has a tarp laying across it to keep water out.
It's bad. It's been leaking for a long time, probably since 2012.
So when a coworker heard of the annual giveaway, she entered him in.
And he's getting ready to deploy again, and again, worrying about his roof and the situation it is with the kids staying there. I thought he was deserving of it. He's a really good person.
And apparently, so did the team over at East Coast Roofing and Siding.
We picked him for the service that he's given for his country. We feel he's given an exemplary service. He'll be deployed in February, defending our country. He's defended our country in the past, been deployed, and we can't think of a better candidate to give a free roof to.
Due to financial restraints, Lacconi has been trying to fix it all on his own. So this Christmas gift will also give him some more free time before he deploys.
Well, it's been a long going on project. Give me some time to spend with my kids. Just freedom to just go out and just enjoy the rest of life instead of just working all the time.
The company plans to get right to work on the roof, along with Clean Lines Painting and Power Washing, who will be helping with the sealing and painting of the house, and Apex, who will install brand new gutters. All this work is expected to be done just in time for Christmas Day.
Larry, I got to tell you, what do you say after that?
There's nothing to say. It's a happy family, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing all the way around, and we're happy to do it.
Well, I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you're hearing about this contest for the first time right now and you just witnessed what it truly means to a family, here's what I want to encourage you to do. I want you to think about it between now and next year. I want you to think about a family that you may know that is really in need of a roof, and a roof would be a big help to them. And remember, not only somebody that needs it, but over the years has taken the time to give something back to the community, right, Larry? What are some of the things that would kind of qualify for that?
We believe everyone's given something back to the community, or has had a chance to give something back. It could be a Boy Scout, a Cub Scout leader, opened a soup kitchen, brought people in from the streets. There's no end. Don't get caught up on what you've done. Just let us know something they've done for others, and we'll take it from there.
So you want to keep that in mind, and at the end of October next year, or November, beginning of November, we want you to reach out and notify the folks here at East Coast Roofing, Siding, and Windows, because we'd like to see that everybody that is worthy of that wonderful, wonderful gift have a chance to be considered next year. So it's all about giving back. It's all about the wonderful projects that you do. Project Fill My Backpack, the Nutrition Center in Solala, Guatemala, Larry. It's just a wonderful thing you do. We want to commend you and your team, and we just want to say thank you for all the great things you do.
You're welcome.
It's East Coast Roofing, Siding, Windows, and now Solar, located right here in Mays Landing. And Larry, what happens when you pick up the phone?
We'll show up.
East Coast Roofing and Siding. Trust us with your family and home.
All right, Larry, so here at East Coast Roofing, Siding, Windows, and of course, Solar, there's always growth here at East Coast. And you're excited to have a new team member with us today.
We are excited. Our newest team member is Jeff Kay, and he's joined us as Director of Business Development.
So let me see. If his title is Director of Business Development, Jeff, that would seem to me that you show up sometime between the first call and the part where we'll show up, you show up.
Yes, sir. That's how it works.
All right. So tell us a little bit about how you blend in here at East Coast and what some of your job responsibilities are.
So basically, I handle quite a few things here. I deal with our sales force. We go through processes. What is the best way to consult with a homeowner? I deal with some of the recruiting. So anybody that's interested in coming on, they can give me a call. The process starts with me. And, I work pretty closely with Larry and Linda and the rest of the team.
It sounds to me like his number one job, Larry, is to make it easy to do business when you pick up the phone and you guys show up.
It is. It's customer service, customer satisfaction is our main bottom line in every job.
And by talking to Larry on camera, I know this happens behind the scenes. He's always concerned that when you do business at East Coast, that it's the easiest experience you ever had. Am I right about that?
Oh, without a doubt. It's all about the customer experience.
So ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for not only a company that really cares about giving back to the community, but most importantly, they care about you. It's all about making it very, very easy to do business. And that's what you're going to find when you deal with East Coast Roofing, Siding, Windows, and of course Solar, located right here in Mays Landing. And Larry, what's that famous line?
If you'll call, we'll show up.
East Coast Roofing and Siding. Trust us with your family and home.
All right, Sean, so you're back. This is Sean Steitler, and we're excited to talk about products. Every time we come here to East Coast Roofing, Siding, and Windows, we learn a lot about products. I got to tell you, you really understand the products in which you and your team install. Am I correct?
Yes. Yeah, it's one of the things I love the most is, getting the right product for the right customer.
Well, I can tell you, I bring up a topic to you, and you can just give me so much very useful information. So I want to have a little fun with you here before we start, okay? So we're talking about residential roofing. That's a big topic we've talked about before. What happens when you call?
We'll show up.
All right. So what about commercial roofing? A, do you do it? And what happens when you call?
Oh, well, if they call for commercial roofing, of course, we show up. But yes, we have a complete division here for our commercial division, commercial roofing, siding, things like that.
Okay. So let's talk about types of commercial jobs you do, processes, things like that, because there may be people that are hearing you and I right now and say, obviously, East Coast Roofing, Siding, and Windows, you obviously do roofing, but it may be, in their mind, it may have been more on the residential side. So the fact they're hearing commercial roofing, that's a big part of business, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, commercial roofing is a large part of our business. It could be as simple as a shingled roof on a large, warehouse or row homes, condos, things like that, where the application is very, very similar to residential, but on a much larger scale. But majority of our commercial roofing is done with flat roofing. A roof is flat, and it does require a lot different application than in the residential end.
Talk to us about, what you can do with a flat roof, because sometimes you hear about a flat roof and people say, "Oh, they're difficult."
It's true. Flat roofing is a bit more difficult than shingled roofing, and you definitely need a more experienced, certified contractor. One thing we do is that same with GAF. GAF is the world's largest roofing manufacturer. They supply all the shingles and things like that, but they also have a complete commercial division as well. And what they specialize in is TPO, which stands for thermoplastic polyolefin, but we'll continue saying TPO because it's
Don't
easier.
say that one 10 times fast.
Yeah, no. TPO is easier to say in conversation, so we'll refer to thermoplastic polyolefin as TPO.
Why is that material important?
It's the top of the line commercial roofing out there these days. We don't see a lot of local contractors using it because the equipment to install TPO can run in the tens of thousands of dollars. But we've invested in this equipment. We believe in it, and we definitely believe in the process of it. It's a very long-lasting product on the roof. Majority of commercial roofers are using torch down. I remember my dad, with a propane tank and a blowtorch, and that's how you used to apply this modified bituminous membrane. Before that was the old hot tar days with a kettle and things like that. I remember growing up, we used to have a big the kettle in the back of the yard, but that's long past us now in the new age of using commercial roofing with TPO and those installations.
We've all heard the term, "You've come a long way, baby." It sounds like commercial roofing has really come a long way as far as the ease and the quality of the material and jobs and things like that. It really sounds like it's evolved in a great way.
It has, yeah, definitely. And like I said, we're partnering with GF in this industry. I've mentioned before, we're a Master Elite certified contractor. That's the highest grade of certification you can get in the residential end. And we are also Master Select commercial contractors for GAF, and that's their highest level of commercial contracting, which means that with a commercial business, we can offer a 20-year warranty on that roof from the manufacturer. That warranty not only covers material, but it covers the workmanship as well, which means that GAF is going to stand behind East Coast Roofing's employees that install that roof, that they'll come out and they'll inspect, do a final inspection on that job, and give it their star of approval. And if they any problems on that job within 20 years, it's on GAF to take care of it. So it's definitely a good warranty, and they're only going to give that to their best contractors.
So not only, just to understand, make sure I heard you correctly, not only are they standing behind it with the actual material,
Yep.
but because you're certified in the way they want you to be, they're going to stand behind your labor.
Yes, yeah, the
Wow.
full workmanship. Exactly. It's a really nice thing that they do, and like I said, you're not going to get these warranties anywhere else in the business. The GAF definitely has the top of the line when it comes to their products, their warranties, and their service to their contractors and their customers.
When you mention commercial roofing, what would really qualify as a commercial roof as opposed to a residential roof? Like I heard you mention, apartment complexes, because there's multiple units. Is that considered a commercial job at that point?
Yes, we technically consider anything a flat roofing to be commercial. Now, we can apply the same materials to a residential end. Say a homeowner has a home and they have a sunroom that's flat. We can certainly use TPO on that. It offers a great solution for them. One of the great things about TPO is it's white. It's very energy reflective. So actually, when you're working on this product, when you're installing it, it's typically recommended to wear sunglasses because the reflective rays are so strong they can actually start giving you a headache if you look at it. It's almost like you're looking at the sun. So it's a great alternative to torch down rubber, where again, propane tank, blowtorch, fire hazards, things like that. This product uses heat as well, but it's no open flame and stuff, so it's a very safe alternative. But yes, commercial roofing, it could be a row home or really a business that has a flat roof on it.
Let's talk about siding, because that's the second part of the name. Siding. So first of all, when you hear siding, how does a homeowner come to the conclusion of the type of siding or what style is really best for his or her home or whatever the needs may be? What really are some of the determining factors that people need to look at when they're considering what they're going to do in their home?
A lot of times we go to these homes and majority of people have been thinking about siding for multiple years. When people are thinking about siding, typically they're going around the neighborhood, they're looking at what they like, what they don't like. And so when we get there, we can ask those questions of, people say, I want siding on my house, and We really want to meet with these homeowners. A lot of people call us up and say, hey, just come over and get me a price on siding. We can't really do that. We want to sit down with a homeowner. There's so many options, colors. Colors can vary in price, styles and things like that. So we like to sit down with the homeowner, go over what their needs are, what their wants, what their likes, their not likes, and then kind of put that together.
Now, over the years, there's so many variations of material and manufacturers that you work with. Am I correct?
Yes.
So what you're really saying is, if you pick up the phone and say, just come on over and give me a price, well, what's best for them? Well, you know, what's going to help their energy needs? What's going to look the best? What's going to wear the best?
Yep.
I mean, because, you know, it's obviously something that you and your team understand. So when they visit with you and your team, they're going to quickly understand that there's going to be so many choices, but you're going to really educate them because you and your staff really have a true understanding of the products.
Yeah.
You're well schooled in them, and you're going to really move them in the direction that's really the best for the customer.
Yes, yeah. We're not doing anyone a favor by going out there and giving them a price. We want to educate the customer so they can make its best choice. You know, an educated customer is the best customer because they understand what they're buying, they understand what they're getting, and the end result they're happy with. As opposed to me going out there and giving them a price, putting siding up on their home. Roof's a little different. Most people roof all the same color. It looks a lot alike. But siding is, people see it all the time. They go pull up to their front door and they look at their house and they really like what they see. Details stand out a bit more. So we want to make sure we're educating our customer on what they're receiving. So when they get it, they're happy with it. And, you know, as a happy customer is a good customer. Referrals we live off referrals. So
I would almost imagine that the siding is almost like when you go to buy a new outfit. You want to make sure that it looks good on where it's going to end up, and you don't want to obviously, put siding that's not been seen and stick it on your house, and all of a sudden you realize it doesn't look so good.
Yeah, it's true. I guess people, they get to go to clothes shopping, they put on a couple different outfits. Now, hopefully homeowners have to put on a couple different sidings before they find the one they like, but we have programs that we utilize that are for that exact reason. We have a program that GF put out called the E360 app, and what we did, we mentioned this earlier, is we take about 8 pictures around the home and create a 3D model of a home where they can actually add different colors of siding, different styles of roofing. We can even change the grid patterns in the windows of their home to really customize it and show them what they like and what they don't like and give them an idea of a version of what it's going to be before it finishes.
Yeah, as we're talking about it right now, we're giving the folks a little sample of what that looks like. It's really neat to see that you can actually not only, talk about it, but you can actually have a visual of what it's going to look like. That's great. That's a great program. And what's it called?
The GF E360 app.
Okay. And that's something that is it done on site with a homeowner, or how does that work?
Basically, we go out there, we take about 8 pictures of the home, we submit that 8 pictures, and then they upload it, they send it back to us. We typically get the 3D model within about 24 hours, typically. Okay. And then we like to bring them back to the office and show them the app at the office where they can see samples here in the office and take a look at what they like, what it really looks like in person, and then they can put it on their home.
Yeah, when you talk about things like a shingle, you can actually touch the shingles, and you talk about the different type of siding or the type of siding they selected. You can actually go over, look at it, see it, get a feel for what that color really is going to look like, and that's what makes it great. You've got the showroom here. You've got a very knowledgeable staff from the initial contact right through the entire process. Sean, you and the staff just make it so easy to do business here at East Coast Roofing. Siding and of course windows, but what really is the most important is you guys care and you're so knowledgeable about the products. But I think you're going to find that when you give them a call. Am I right?
Yeah, hopefully when they call us, we'll be able to show them exactly what they need and find out what their wants are and definitely be able to service that customer the best way.
And I imagine next time we're here, we'll talk a little bit more about windows. This time we didn't. We talked a lot about the roofing, but of course they have a great selection of windows. They can really work with any of your situations there. So it's East Coast Roofing, Siding, and Windows in Mays Landing. And Sean, take us home with those magic words.
If you call, we'll show up.
Advantage Broadcasting. Move ahead.